I am Gato Perro, and today I'm talking about the new NECA New York Comic Con 2019 exclusives Green Lantern and Predator and Batman and Alien 2-packs. Yes, we're going to do both in one video. So this is part 2 of NECA's venture into a Aliens and Predators versus DC crossover with yet another Batman and a Green Lantern this time. And these guys look really badass already in the packaging. So I'll just show you real quick because there's not much to look at aside from the logos. So real quick, there's Green Lantern and the Predator. Over here we got Batman and a Jokerized alien. So I'm pumped for these. Let's get these open. So we're going to start off with the Green Lantern and the Sinestro Corpse Predator first. This is, in my opinion, by far the most unique 2-pack set that NECA made out of all 4 of them. We get a Predator completely resculpted, a brand new sculpt into a Sinestro Corpse outfit, and this Green Lantern is fucking badass, man. Green Lantern is definitely my top 3 alongside Batman and Spider-Man, so I'm very glad we got to see him. My cat passing through again like every other video. So let's look at how Jordan up close. I love the way NECA sculpts their figures. Always looking very gritty. This guy's grinning his teeth. He's mad. He's putting all of his effort into his fight. Looks very good. I love the way the hairpiece flows over his head. It is a separate piece. I can kind of tell that it is attached to the front of the head. A little paint mishap on the back, but no big deal because the head is and the hair is sculpted very well overall. Nice natural look. The skin tone looks great. The teeth are painted in there really well. And I love the way the mask is. So you do get the green around, obviously, but then the skin around the eyes is black. And then his pupils themselves are white. So I love the way that looks. I'm glad they didn't go with like the humanoid eyes where you can see them, because I really don't like that. So the outfit and the musculature overall and the body, I mean, is the same one that they've been using for the past couple of molds. So this is the standard mold that they've been using for their DC figures. I don't have a single problem with that because these dudes are jacked. You can see striations. All their muscles are shaded in. Their lats are big. Their deltoids, the traps, their shoulders, their biceps, their triceps, their quads, their everything. So these guys are really jacked. In terms of paint, you can see a clear-cut difference between the green, whereas this is molded in green, this is all black, and so the green is painted over the black, and then the white that's painted over the green looks a little bit more milky and not quite as a vibrant white as it is on the gloves. So these feels like they're a different piece of plastic. So, but the logo on itself is pretty crisp. I love the way that looks. And the gloves, I said, they are sculpted over here when it gets to the form. And then for the ring, they're kind of tricky to sculpt with figures, but over here you get the point. So it just looks like a square with a little circle indented into it for the ring. At first I thought these crotch piece was gonna bother me, but it really doesn't. It doesn't look so bad in person, because I thought since he doesn't have a belt, it just kind of looks like he has like a little diaper or something. But it works out pretty good. So he's definitely rocking this 90s style before his death in the comic books. And then over here we just got his boots. So let's talk about his accessories. So he does come with 2 alternate hands. The ones in the packaging are the 2 fists. So this side is a gripping for his left, and it can only be used for this lantern that he comes with. It is sculpted really well. It has this white inside of it, so you can see the power battery. It doesn't light up or anything, and this handle doesn't really have a hinge to it. And this part is more of a rubbery piece. And it does seem like it is angled on purpose to be held like this, or maybe switched around, so that way it's always facing forward for him to charge his ring. So that's pretty neat. This side is the most important. It is basically the hand that we saw before. No ring, but instead there's a hole in it. And they're using the same system that they had for their Superman, but instead of the face, it is his hand that you can attach various things to. So the first one you get is this shimmer. So you can just port that into his hand right there, like he's lighting up, or maybe he's about to blast. And speaking of about to blast, there's just tiny blast. It can be like you know, or maybe it can be like cutting into something. The biggest one is this gigantic laser that's about, say, 4 or 5 inches that you can attach, and it has this impact effect at the very end. So that is very inventive. I love the way they made that work. I'm glad we got a Green Lantern with actual constructs for once. And his very last accessory is a John Stewart head. Alright, so be aware that the heads are very hard to swap out, but once you have it on there, it looks great. So I was very surprised that we were going to get basically a whole nother character in this set via the head sculpt. So yeah, you could buy two of these. You can have Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Although this isn't really the costume I associate him with, I am very appreciative that they added the option to have Jon Stewart. So let's take just one look at the articulation, because it is the same as the Batman, so this is the one time I'll go over it, unless Batman has something that's different from this figure that might hinder it. So his head can go up. It is just on a ball joint, not a hinge, so it can go up that high. It can go low pretty good enough. His shoulders can go out. They can rotate all the way around. He does have bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows right there. No form, but he does have a hinge at the wrist. They can go in and out. His ab crunch is able to go that far down and this far up. He does have a waist swivel. His legs, actually this piece, this crotch piece, is a little bit soft, so you can use it to get the legs up a little bit higher. About that much, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, NECA's did a really good job with the articulation, so they can go out this much for the splits. The thigh swivel is built in. It's actually hidden because it goes up into the little piece to hide the ball joint inside of it. But turn it around enough, you can see it a little bit in there. So I love the way to do that. Very modern. Double jointed knees that are hard to bend. There we go. And then he said does have boot swivel. I know he does. They're just very stuck. So it is boot swivel. His ankles can go down. They can go up, and he does have a toe joint, and he does have ankle rocker. This Predator is a beast. It is so different from what is considered the standard look for Predator. Here's the one from the previous pack. So I imagine this is what it looks like most of the time, but the fact that they went all out to make this Predator in a Sinestro Corpse outfit is just insane to me. I love that they went all out just for this, man. The paint sculpt, everything is just so cool, and his accessories, I imagine, are probably unique to this set. I'm not a huge Predator fan. I know of him, but I'm not a huge know-it-all about it. I barely know anything, but I know a good figure when I see one, and I'm telling you, man, this is it. I sure hope that I'm correct on this, but this is a brand new mold, at least reused, but because a lot of these pieces are soft plastic, so I imagine they're probably a little bit easier to make than having to rework the whole the plastic figure itself. But this helmet, a lot of detail onto it. It has a lot of texture to it. It has a lot of cracks up on the top, a lot of crazy paint in there. All the dreadlocks, as always, right here. It does come with an alternate head that you can swap on. The unhelmeted look, I'm not sure if this looks any different than previous ones. Maybe they could have put like a Sinestro Corpse logo on his head, like embedded into it or something. But that's not really the main attraction for me. What really does it is the fact that he has these constructs on his back. So he does have a sword, a sheath, and his cannon, whatever this is called, as constructs. And they're kind of tricky to see because they're translucent. But he does have his own articulation that he can go out with it. You can rotate this around. It doesn't come off, but I'd rather not. So it is all attached to this chest piece over here. This is soft plastic. Everything right here is soft plastic. So it does have these tubes that come over here up top. I love the way the Sinestro Corpse logo looks right here. Perfect white. It feels like a different material that was attached onto the chest piece, like glued on there. So you can take these out just like so. You can see some detail on it, some lines, the handle, the little grids, and he does have hands that he can hold on to it, which I'll show in a little bit. And look at this, man. So we get the underbody is all black. You can still see the detail of all the, I'm just calling it fishnet stocking. I don't want to call it that, but the belt looks pretty cool with the silver in between, the black wash, like a leather material right here, the legs. Then his feet. So this guy is sick. I love what NECA did. Very original. Probably never will be seen again. So this is really a one-of-a-kind piece right here. So for his articulation, he can go up like that. He can go down. His shoulders are able to go a little bit. He does have plastic shoulder pads here, but they can get out of the way, so they can raise all the way up. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows. These forearm pieces are separate, so you can rotate them around. And he does have a hinge at the hand. He does have a torso joint that can not really move front or back. Maybe mine's stuck. I feel like it's all coming from the waist, although it does crunch forward that much. So The legs, you can go out that much. They can go forward very, very decent amounts. He does have double jointed knees right here, and he does have ankles that go down. They do go up, and he does have an ankle rocker in there. So for his interchangeable parts, he does come with 2 alternate hands. This side I forgot to mention, but it does have the detail of the yellow lantern ring, and that's actually present on both hands. Just something I missed out. So these are more wide open. This one's more of a gripping style. So this one you can attach either the sword that I mentioned earlier. So that works out pretty well. It's not really a loose fit, so you can play around with that. So his other accessory that can go in that hand is this really long spear that is probably it's actually taller than he is. So this thing you might want to be careful with. I'm not saying it's brittle, but might want to be careful with the more skinnier parts. You can see some wraps here, and this sharp, crazy looking design they got over here. So you can just wedge this into his hand. There we go. We have Predator ready to go stab a bitch. So on the other hand, it's more of the hand that we got previously. I'm sure you guys have Predators. You'll probably be more familiar with this than me, but I'm pretty sure he throws discs of some sort, some kind of sharp discs. So this one is the construct version of it. This one be extra careful with, just in case, but I'm sure you're supposed to squeeze this into his hand somehow, but for the life of me I can't even figure it out, and this is my second time playing with a Predator figure. So correct me in the comments, or I don't know, but I don't know how he's supposed to hold this. I just know it looks really cool. One last thing I want to mention about this figure is just this huge question I have. I can't figure out if there's supposed to be something that goes on this side. It seems like a holster and it's clearly hollow, but I don't have anything that's supposed to go in there. I don't think a sword's supposed to go there or something like that. So if anybody has an answer for me, please leave it in the comments, because I'm really stumped and I have no idea what that's for. Now we're moving on to the Batman and the Jokerized Alien set. So first of all, with Batman, I was very, very curious to see exactly what NECA could have done to not give us 2 Batmans, because the previous Batman is very similar. They all have the same body molds, but I was wondering what they could have done to not give us 2, to basically have this armor be the entire accessory to be swapped out onto a Batman figure. So these pieces are all separate. All these thigh pieces are easy to take off. So my theory before owning this Batman was that we could have just had one Batman in the line, maybe have Wonder Woman in a 2-pack. I don't even know if that would make sense, because then I guess the whole theme is versus Alien or Predator. I don't know if that's a thing for Wonder Woman, but I don't know if 2 Batmans was necessary. But now looking at it, I can more see why the logic went into it. So this guy has a different crotch piece. The legs are different at the bottom. The feet are different. These forearm pieces you can't remove, but they're unique to him. The hand sculpts are different. So I can better appreciate this Batman a lot more, knowing that he is his own unique Batman, despite the body mold being the same under all this plastic covering. And then the head sculpt underneath it, you can see it is within the same style and sculpt of this Batman right over here. Except I think the cowl on this one's a little bit more black, whereas the one we get over here is a lot more of a navy blue. So this is our standard traditional Batman, but this is more in the, I guess we're in keeping with the whole 90s look, with the early look style, which I love. I have no problem with that. Not a big fan of the DC Collectibles Reborn look, the DC Essentials, that's what they're called. Not a fan of those. The proportion of these guys are great. This is the exact same body mold as the Green Lantern and the Superman. But of course, it has its own unique pieces to give the character its own identity and look. So obviously, the head sculpt is beautiful, dude. So this is a very angry, very exaggerated looking Batman. Very angry scowl, super defined chin. He does have the black eyeshadow eyeliner underneath where the skin tone is, but then his pupils are still white and they look creepy as all hell. I love the grimace he has. Super long ears. I love the way that looks, dude. It looks like Long Halloween Batman. Mine is the fact that he has the traditional yellow emblem logo on his chest. But I'm glad that they painted this on well. Would have liked if they had sculpted the logos on the figures themselves across the entire series, but as long as you're painted well, it's not really a big deal to me. So this crotch piece over here, it's all new. This belt piece and his briefs are all one piece, so they don't move around. His gauntlets are brand new. So there's a cut right here where the sculpt begins, and you can see the gauntlets. They're nowhere near soft or rubbery, so you can stab yourself with them. So we got his very defined quads and his new boots, which are, I don't believe they're resculpted with the Superman boots, or are they? I don't know. We'll take a look at that with comparison. So just his big flowy cape is the same as the previous one with the armored suit. It is huge, man. I love this way this cape looks. There's no wire in it, but for once I'm actually not gonna cry about it because I love how wide the wingspan is. And you can drape it over him to cover him completely. So there, dude, that looks really cool. It reminds me of that cover with the Tom McFarlane cover with like the cape flowing all around him. So if this had some wire, it would be really cool and put it over the top, but I actually have no problem with it. So his articulation is the same as the Green Lantern, so there's not much to bring up there. He does have two accessories actually, but they technically all combine as one. So he just has one right hand that's open with a single batarang painted in silver. So well, you can look at it like this. I'm pretty sure most of us have plenty of Batmans lying around with other accessories such as grapnel guns, multiple batarangs, sonar, whatever else. Especially, I have a bunch of Mezco Batman, so I got plenty of accessories to pick out from. So I'm not gonna nitpick about that because I got plenty of Bat accessories that I can use for this guy. So it's not really a big deal. Okay, so this is going to be hard to capture on camera, but here we have the Jokerized alien. This guy is tall. He's freaky tall, dude. So this guy is a monster. I think this is the standard mold for the alien figures, but redone in a Joker color. So, dude, I can't even believe this exists. So we got the makeshift green hair for Joker over here on top of the head with, I think this is a clear plastic over it. So that looks sick. And over the mouth, we got the blood mimicking the red lips that Joker is very known for. And I'm pretty sure you can take out the little plastic mouth inside of it, but I can't reach in it right now. And I'm pretty sure it's stuck in there. But rest assured, I'm pretty sure you can take that out. I'm pretty sure that's a standard for alien figures. So then the figure overall is this white with black wash in between all the accents of the details, the rib cage all across the legs, the arms. The fingernails are painted green, as well as the toenails, and then he has this blood at the end of his tail, and this is all very bendy. All the way from here to here, you can bend it either which way you want, and it especially helps with keeping the figure standing up. So, I mean, this is going to be kind of hard to call the articulation out. So, his head can go back like that. He can look down. Can he? He can look down that much, let's say. So his shoulders do go out, straight out. They can go forward, no bicep, but he does have double jointed elbows, and then can rotate on that joint right there. He does have a hinge at the hand, and he does have also two fingers that can bend in and out, and that's on both sides. So his abdomen, if you can call it that, can go forward a tiny bit and mostly rotates back. I don't think so. His legs can go out basically anywhere. You can get him up as high as you want. Double jointed knees. He does have a thigh swivel up here if it wasn't so stiff, but I don't want to break it, so we'll talk about this side. And then he's have double jointed knees. This calf can go up and down, so can his ankles, although it feels like they don't really go up and down. They're more of a singular joints. And then his toes can go up. Here's the height difference between Batman and the alien. This guy is tall as all hell, but you can really bend him down to whatever size you like. But he can technically be taller, but he won't be as stable. So there's that. Here we have all four of the NECA 2-packs. So I am nothing but just astounded, amazed, and just thankful that NECA was able to release this somehow. It was years ago that we first got the previews and the prototypes for the armored Batman, the Superman, and the regular Batman, with the Jokerized alien and the Predator and the alien in the regular form. So that was years ago. We just never heard from them again, and all these years later, NECA found a loophole to release these, and I am just thankful, really thankful, because these are some really badass figures. Much better than the DC Collectibles Essentials ones. Those are trash. Their anatomy is all weird, and I can only hope that McFarlane learns from NECA, because these figures have great articulation, badass paint, and the accessories they come with are really unique and true to the character. Mine is Batman because they kind of gave him, the short end of it, but he's Batman, he looks cool. We're gonna buy him anyway. So very solid character representations, all of them in their classic form. And I finally have some aliens and predators to add to my horror collection, and we got these very unique Sinestro Corpse Predator and the Jokerized alien to represent this special time in the comic books where those were actually a thing. So very thankful. These are some really badass figures. These 2-packs are totally worth your money, especially if you can find them at a good bargain price. I know the Superman was a really hard one to get, or the most desired one of the previous pack, and now this Green Lantern is really badass for me. He's probably my favorite one overall, but I can't say that solidly because I love all of these all together. So good luck getting these guys. I highly recommend them. They're all great. So stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys for watching. Gato Perro.